We drink tequila. We talk. Welcome to Team Tequila Talks.
Yay!
Yay! Hey. Thrilled.
Yeah.
Thrilled to be here.
Thank you. You know, we test drove your cocktail this weekend as it just for Team Tequila. It was so good.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
I'm just going to first off welcome everybody to Team Tequila Talks. We're going to have like a little bit of a sipper before we make this cocktail. So pour us a half shot because we start off every Team Tequila Talks with a cheers.
Yes.
It would not be Team Tequila Talks if we did not start off with a shot. So everybody, welcome as Miss Sherian Gonzalez and Cassandra Junamel, your other co-host, here with our resident guest, Mark Strong from the House of Strong. And this week we are joined by Rob Floyd, who is quite the experienced mixologist, I would say. I think that he's pretty famed and global in all the things. You might have seen him on Bar Rescue. We're really lucky because he's designed us a special cocktail today, and we're pretty picky.
Extremely.
And you had us a little nervous when we read butterfly tea. We said, "What is this?" And we
I knew what it was. I told you what it was.
I didn't know what it was. That's all.
I haven't had it in a cocktail though. Cheers.
Cheers.
Rob, cheers. Welcome to Team Tequila Talks.
Cheers. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. Cheers.
Really just going for it. Okay. So we are making a butterfly tea cocktail. And the fun thing about this is Sherry and I are in this book club, and it's pretty fun. We like it. Our friend hosts this book club where she hosts a ladies' book club every 2 months. I guess the stereotype is true. This is just what we do in our late 30s and 40s,
early
and
40s,
as we're getting older. The book that we read, we tried to do themed cocktails and themed food, and the book that we read this time was thriller that took place in the UK, and they're always talking about tea, going to high tea and come on in for tea and drinking tea. And so I felt like even in the height of the drama, they're saying, oh, let's just take a break and go for some tea.
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe a euphemism for cocktail, or at least some tea comes with champagne.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Sometimes it does.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that, that there's this tea culture in the UK, obviously, and sometimes it comes with champagne. And now I feel like I've been to teas where they start branching out and they have tea cocktails or champagnes. And I personally haven't tried a bunch of them yet, but you sent us this recipe right before this party, and I tried to make, you might know more about this than I do. I said that I would make a clarified English milk punch, not knowing how goddamn difficult that was. Oh no, I pulled shoot. I didn't do it. It looked really...
sounds difficult.
It's so difficult. It's like 15 ingredients, and you've got to boil the milk until it curdles, and I don't drink cow's milk, so I'm like, oh, how would it work with coconut milk? Geeking out about it, thinking that I could do this really cool vegan English
Rob,
milk
have you ever made that?
So I haven't made that, but I love the tea culture, and the big thing about why, I love the history of drinks, the why, and the biggest thing, I went to school in London at the Royal Academy, and the reason why they really go for teas when there's a big craziness or madness comes from the Battle of Britain. When they ran out of morphine, they ran out of all sorts of supplies, so they could only bring victims of really awful tragedies a hot cup of tea. And what had happened was it would make people take a big breath and a big swallow and air, and so it reinforced that. So when you're talking about that tea culture and from living there, it's so ingrained in everything through history to modern extremes.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's very much, you always hear... And I love London. It's one of my favorite places in the whole wide world. Yeah. And I feel like anywhere you go in the UK, there's that saying that nothing that a spot of tea won't help or cure. And I really do think that's ingrained, and it's a psychological comfort thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I think sometimes when you're there and you're angry or pissed, when you're angry or pissed, they're you just need some tea. And now your backstory of them dying, it's oh no, you're dying, but just take a breath.
Just take a breath, have some tea. So we ended up we gave this a little test run.
Yes, you don't go into a panic.
Just because, and so much easier than the clarified milk punch, let me say. So we will absolutely post this on our Team Tequila Talks pages because it is much more reasonable to make, and I feel like you're really going to help us fine tune it because we kind of just gave it a go And I think that with your expertise and guidance, we can really offer some pro tips.
Yeah, and it was a big hit. Everyone at the book club, it was gone by the end of the night. There was
People
not
were
a
pretty
drop
loose
left.
by the end.
I was pretty pissed because I was like, damn it, now we got to rebrew that tea.
It was a big success. I think because it's light, but it has a lot of flavor. Like there's something about the botanical and the earthiness and the herbal with the tea that gives you a complex flavoring, but it's in basically a water base. So you don't feel, sometimes when you're trying to get a complex flavored cocktail with a sweet and a spice and a bitter and all of these things, you end up having to use all of these ingredients, and a lot of them might have sugar. Here at Team Tequila Talks, we try not to do too much of that or to stick to the natural sugars.
Yeah.
So how'd you come up with this?
Tell us.
So I wanted to, for me, so I do about 300 properties around the world. So about $500 million in beverage through my company. And so for me, it's like, I want to create an experience, something magical in everybody's hand. So when they're having a drink, it's not just a drink, it's an experience, it's a destination, it makes you feel a certain way, but it's also something you can do at home. And that's why I was so excited to be on with you all today, is be able to do something, give the listeners, the viewers and all that, a way to create magic in their hand. And that's what my feeling was behind this.
It really was. And our friend ended up taking some edible flowers and freezing them in ice cubes. So we topped off to put a little magic on top of it. On the top of every single one, we put a frozen ice cube or frozen edible flower in an ice cube, and it just made it look so pretty.
I think people kept drinking it. I mean, I'm the person, first of all, yes, blue, anything, as I'm sure you can attest.
I feel like it's more violet, more purple.
It's violet, but any type of color.
It's a little blue right now because I made it strong.
Any type of color in a cocktail, though, I'm always sketchy about, because I'm like, is this Midori sour? Is this going to be blue curates or whatever that stuff is?
Curacao?
Curacao.
Rob, how do you say that? Blue.
Yeah,
I'm sure you don't use it, but you probably know how to say it. Blue Curacao?
Curacao. Now you got me saying it wrong. Curacao.
Well,
like the
Rob,
island,
I'm putting a
messed
flashlight
up.
behind this.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah, so it was refreshing to know that, and my girlfriend sitting next to me, she was like, what is this? Is this blue? Did you guys put blue dye in this? And I was like, no, it's tea.
Butterfly tea.
It's butterfly tea.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about this cocktail, but let's start drinking it. Rob, how do we make this? We've got our tea. We've got our tea brewed and prepared.
Let's start drinking, absolutely. Well, we've got our tea brewed. That is perfect. So we would, I'm going to put up a little shaker right here, and I have some tea ready to go. And my tea is brewed as well, and just beautiful. So I have my tea, and I'm going to start out with using the tea, and I'm going to move to about 3 ounces of it. A good 3 ounces. A little more, a little less, you'll be fine, but I'll go ahead and I'll pour it in right now.
Okay, are we going to multiply that by 3? Because there's 3 of us, and I'm not sharing.
Yeah,
yes.
we are. We're doing 9.
So we're doing
Yes,
9.
You should. No sharing.
So that's
Absolutely.
1 cup and 1 ounce
I love
for
that.
those of you that are bad at math. That's 8 ounces plus 1 is 9 ounces.
Well done.
Did you know, I think if you
done.
walked up and down Hollywood Boulevard, is it Jimmy Kimmel that does that? That goes and like makes things up and asks people on the street?
Yeah.
I think if you walked up and down Hollywood Boulevard or Times Square or whatever, and you ask people how many ounces are in a cup, I would say that at least half the people don't know.
It's 8.
Right, but you are in the kitchen a lot, so you know, and I'm sure that Rob knows
Yeah,
because
it's
he's used to, yeah. But if you asked someone that's like, I don't know, a firefighter, not to by no means to shit on firefighters, but they don't use that knowledge. Well, I guess they
do. I was going to say that's a bad analogy.
Okay, fine. But I think my point is that a lot of people don't know how many ounces are in a cup or a half cup.
Or they forgot.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got our tea. We've got 9 ounces.
We've got our tea is in there. Next up, we're going to use our favorite orange liqueur. So you can always use a dash of agave if you want to bring out a sweetness to it. I like it a little tart. I like it a little skinny like this. You can enjoy, but I like tea, like y'all were saying. Real quick, one more history thing. When you were talking about blue curacao, is originally back in the 1700s, they used to use butterfly tea, but it would change the color as it was exposed to sunlight often. So that's where they went to blue dye. But that was bowls back in the day. So anyway, let's go on to our next
Oh, wow.
Fun facts. Bing.
orange. So either Grand Marnier, you could use a triple sec. I'm going to use a little Cointreau. I'm going to go a half ounce in. So
Yeah, we
for
like
y'all, that's
Cointreau.
times 3.
1.5 ounces.
Already did ours, but I'll do a little bit more.
Okay. And you can use Patron Citronage, you can use triple sec, you can use Cointreau,
Yes.
you can use Grand Marnier, or your choice of orange liqueur, I guess.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
is there
Perfect.
actual difference, or it's just a brand?
Those are different brands.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah,
brands, but they're
different
pretty much
brands.
the same. Grand Marnier, what's the difference between, that's a good question, what's the difference between Grand Marnier and Cointreau?
So basically, it's how it's prepared. If you look at like Grand Marnier, and this is a little baby bottle, it's done of the way that it's done off the still. They used to fall in love, and so they used to produce it through a still like it was a true cognac, if you will. If you're looking at like triple secs, if you will, they're a little lighter. They're done usually through a column or a continuous still, so you can make a lot more of it, where Grand Marnier takes a little more time, becomes a little more viscous or a little more finish on that. So it's there's so many great ones out there with and you said Patron Citronage, that's really fun as well. It's just have fun and experience with them all.
We'll have to taste test.
Cool.
We're going to do 4 different options with a blind taste test. That's going to be our weekend homework.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we have our butterfly tea. We have our Cointreau. I see limes here.
Yep.
Limes.
Now, don't put in the citrus yet. Don't put any citrus in yet. No citrus juice, anything yet. We're going to go
yet.
right to the tequila, because we're gonna do a little
important part.
Harry Potter with this drink. Yeah.
I can't
So,
wait.
any sort of
this is
silver
the pro tip we
tequila,
needed
you're going
this
to go
weekend.
2 ounces. 2
Okay,
ounces.
we are using
Oh, yeah.
Avion Silver Tequila from our friends
I
over
think
at
he's
Avion.
using Don Julio.
Don Julio.
Love Don Julio as well.
I
We
will
don't really
use Avion
discriminate
then.
with fine tequilas
We'll
here.
all
nice.
be
Yeah.
together.
Oh, look at that. Rob is prepared. Shout out
Yay.
to our friends over at Avion.
Heck yes.
We had one of their reps on the show. She was
Hit me.
lovely. We love them.
Oh,
I
great.
have a confession to
They're
make.
awesome.
Yes.
They're really fun. Hit me.
Yes, I accidentally I'm a bad student because I thought
Did you already put the lime in there? follow instructions.
I must confess, before we were having technical issues, and I said, you know what? In the interest of time, I can just do these lime
Okay,
shots.
so then
really
pour
quick.
it in that
Okay,
cup,
so-
and we're gonna start over.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. So you keep going,
Yeah,
Rob,
let's
and I'm going to
start
catch
Do we have
up
more
to
lime
you.
juice?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
we're
you-
starting
you
over
keep
because
going.
Sherry can't follow
we'll be
instructions.
good.
You.
Oh, but look how pretty that is.
It looks really. Hold on.
Oh, it's going to be
All right.
crazy what we're going to do. Make sure there's no lime at all left in it. Make sure you might want
Got
to give
it.
it a quick rinse, just so there's no.
Okay.
Because we're going to do an organic
it's a negative.
compound
No lime. Here,
reaction
wipe this
with
out.
this
Just do
cocktail.
Woo! I mean, it already looks really pretty for those of you watching. Most people are listening, but for those of you watching, we like to talk about the health benefits of the ingredients that we use. Rob, how much do you know about the health benefits of butterfly tea, or are we about to teach you something?
So butterfly tea is actually the superfood of teas. What it does is it has a great
That's right.
backstory to it. But what is an organic tea? It's great. It's known as the traveler's tea in Southeast Asia because it reduces inflammation. It reduces swelling. It's full of amino acids. It's one of those incredible things. The story behind it's wild. It's supposedly one of the goddesses gave it to a lady who planted it and gave it to all the travelers who would go through the mountains. So it's a
This
very
looks pretty
magical
goddessy
tea
to me.
and origins of Thailand, but now all through. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Adding
we're
it to the pantry.
So
and
it
we're
is a
repouring
superfood.
just the
Beautiful.
tea and just the Cointreau.
Yes.
Sherry is. I'm going to take the lime away from
Just the
Sherry.
tea, just
Okay,
the
this is going to be on the other side of the table until
Yeah.
Rob deems it appropriate. So when we were looking into butterfly tea, we were also seeing how the antioxidant factor is a big thing, and that makes sense. You're saying traveler's tea, you're saying anti-inflammatories because it's usually toxins and free radicals that are going to go into your system and inflame you, and that's going to make you have water bloat that could constipate you. Hence, like they say, traveler's constipation, and it can also even swell your fat cells because toxins are stored in your fat cells. So what you want to do to help combat a lot of that is to make sure that you're getting your vitamins and minerals through whole foods, but also that you are consuming foods that are high in antioxidants and flavonoids, which
Yes.
butterfly tea is. And flavonoids are an antioxidant agent and really help with that. And you can get them from foods like onions and kale and all of that stuff, but if you can drink them and they look pretty. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Right? And it's so much easier.
So basically, we're beautifying ourselves
Absolutely.
with this cocktail
With
and
a beautiful
hydrate.
cocktail. Okay, we're going back to the mixing because
Absolutely.
Sherry now has
Absolutely.
non-lime tainted tea. And have you put the tequila in?
I have not. I'm
Okay, we've done the control. We've done the tea.
Nope.
So now it's tequila time, correct?
We are going 2 ounces of tequila. Absolutely. So that's triple for y'all. 2 ounces of tequila.
6.
If you want, you can go a little less, but this is good tequila. So
A little more. A little more. A little more.
That's 6.
That's 6.
that's great.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
I love it. Okay, I think 2 ounces is probably like the standard amount in a cocktail.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
If we're talking about,
it is.
you
It's
know,
that
just sort
standard
of
feel
your
to it.
run of the mill. I'm not saying that they're not. Yeah, there's lighter cocktails, there's heavier cocktails, but Rob, would you say that that is kind of the high-end, nice cocktail? Like you go to a bar and order a drink, and you're probably getting something in that ballpark.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. You're 2 ounces. If you're looking at more your martini, you're looking a
Okay,
little more
we're
than
ready for
that.
it.
If you're looking, a low ABV is such a huge craze today, but 2 ounces is just right on the money. All right, we're ready. We have not put in
Okay.
any citrus, no citrus yet. So I'm going to go ahead.
No citrus.
I
And
promise.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a little ice here. Okay, so I'm going to put in a little ice. And from the ice, I'm going to do a little shake it up. We're all going to do a little shake together.
Okay.
And
I
so
must stand
let's
for
just
this.
give it a little shake, a little fun. Woo!
Yeah, not in
Oh,
front of
yeah.
the equipment.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. I love it. Let's see the shake. Here we go.
Do your shake weight.
There
Do
it
your
is.
shake
There
weight.
it is. Shake weight. Oh, look at
Little
that.
dancer.
Damn, that's good. Your drink's going to taste better.
Just got a little extra spice in there.
Extra spice.
Yeah. Nothing wrong
So we've
with
given
that.
it a shake with
All right.
ice. Why do we? Okay, is this just to chill
All
it,
right.
or is there another factor here?
Just to chill it, just to get a little cold, just to get ready, because we're then going to take another glass and put ice in our other glass.
I think it's going to taste better with the shake. I don't know. It's like cooking with love,
Oh,
shaking
yeah.
with love, drinking with love. Rob, I have a question for you. I saw that you train over like 2,000 students and worldwide on, I guess, setting up their bars and also teaching them different cocktails. Now, do you make signature cocktails for different bars all over the world? Is that what you...
Yeah, so I do about half the cruise ships all over the world. So it's about 8,000 bar personnel that I train. So I work with everybody. I fly people in. I have a studio out of Nashville now that I fly teams all over the world, and then teams fly in so that they can, for me, I love what we do. I love that you guys do this amazing podcast. It just makes people happy. And so when I can send teams out that make a better drink, a better experience for people all over the world, it works out wonderful. So yeah, I love training and teaching.
So you're basically training us. We're like your
we're
students.
I may have
right
to have
now.
you
Wait,
come in and
did he tell you to put it in the?
Yup.
Yes.
Did he tell you to put the ice in the glass, or are you
All right,
breaking
so
rules?
we have our ice in a glass. We can put the ice in a glass. We are good. We have not put in the
Green
citrus
light.
yet. There's no citrus yet.
No citrus. It's still on my side of the
I
table.
promise.
Sherry does not have access.
I promise.
Good. Don't let her get it.
I was a soccer goalie as a
Once
kid.
you
I
have
was
a little
actually
ice
really
in there,
bad.
She breaks the rules.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Oh,
have ice.
I
We've
love
got our ice.
that.
And our beautiful
Hope
glasses
Solo
for our
in the
beautiful
day.
cocktail. We went
In the
with the
shape of
fancy
a
glasses.
mushroom.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Now we're gonna without the citrus, we're gonna pour the drink in.
Okay.
And it's gonna be this beautiful electric blue color.
Ooh. Oh, I see, because I know what's going to happen.
Oh, you know what's gonna happen. Oh yeah.
Cheers to beautiful skin.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Very
This is Harry,
pretty.
this is Harry Potter.
I know.
Mm-hmm. This is Harry
like
Potter.
magic.
I'm a
I'm gonna have to make
Ravenclaw,
a
y'all. I just
virgin
want
one
you
of
to know
these
that
for my
now.
daughter. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
you
and
are.
especially so like for me,
Appropriate coloring. Then.
making virgin cocktails, zero proof cocktails, it's huge. All right, so now we have our citrus, okay?
Yeah.
So whoever's doing the first one with me, you're gonna pour about, I'd say about a half ounce in there. maybe 3/4 ounce, whatever you want to do, but right in that ballpark. And we can all do it together if you want to do it. All of us put a little bit in a container. And once we're ready,
You know what it is? I'll just.
not yet,
Oh, here.
not yet, but on the count of 3, we'll
Not
put
yet.
it in and we'll stir
Okay.
our drink. Not yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't
Not
spill
yet.
it. Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold it
All
up.
right.
Yep.
Okay, let's hold it all up. I'm going to stir it so we can really see, but we're going to put it in on 3. We're going to say abracadabra on 3. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra. We pour it in.
Abracadabra.
Watch it.
Oh. You're right. Look at this little potion.
Look at that.
Wow.
Changing
mind blown.
colors.
Mark, I feel like this is your next party trick.
This is.
This is beautiful.
This could be for a wedding, Rob.
Oh my
Have you?
gosh.
This could be for a wedding signature drink too.
More importantly, how's it
And
taste?
I love
Yeah.
that it's an ombre.
It's an ombre.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's
There
delicious.
we go.
It's
Cheers,
delicious.
everybody.
We made it wrong
Cheers,
this weekend.
cheers.
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 Cheers to beauty.
Cheers to beauty, health, and happiness.
Light,
So pretty.
crisp.
So we definitely made this. We shook the lime with the butterfly tea over the weekend, and it was this really pretty purple color like this, but it didn't have the ombre effect, and I feel like it didn't have the pretty swirl and stuff. So see, this is why we needed the pro tips from you. We needed your expertise, because this, of course, I mean, the first one was good. It tasted good, but I feel like bonus points for presentation on this one.
This is, I mean, it's an
perfect.
interesting drink, because whenever I see something colorful, I think super sugar. I think a ton of sugar, and I'm like,
Yeah.
get that away from me. But this is
Yep.
refined, honey. This is
Refined.
This is
Absolutely.
refined. This is bougie.
You could always
It's
put a
appropriate
dash of
for a high
sweetness
tea.
if you wanted to. Yeah.
But you don't have to.
exactly.
You
And
could also
the changes
do,
color because of an organic enzyme is unstable in the tea.
Oh,
Oh.
I love these fun facts.
Oh, so the citrus activates the
There you
enzyme?
go. It's be fun and smart. Yeah, so the citrus attaches to the
So
enzyme,
I
creates what's
think-
called a lipoid, or introduces oxygen to it, and it starts to evolve and change color.
I didn't know we were going to get a chemistry lesson out of this, too. We got a great cocktail and some education.
Not
But a
only
chemistry
are
lesson
we
that
fake
tastes good.
medical experts,
Do not take our medical advice. Do not take our legal advice. You can take our chemistry advice now, thanks
no,
to
because
Rob.
of Rob.
Yeah.
Now we're expert chemists and mixologists, because we take on the
Cocktails just got more fun, girls.
right. We take on the whatever our guest
Oh,
does
yeah.
for a living. We become that. So now I feel like an expert. I have over 2,000 clients
awesome.
worldwide.
Talking about Harry Potter and wizardry over here, Sherry. This is
Yeah.
delicious. Rob, I have a question for you.
Awesome.
You know, everything that you were saying at the beginning about wanting drinks to be an experience, and this is 100% up that alley. That is how I feel too. I love going to a bar and talking to the bartender and saying, what's your specialty? What do you like to work with? What is in season? What's local? And that's my favorite way to drink. That said, how do you probably spent, I mean, you have spent a lot of time behind a bar. What does someone have to do to get in a bartender's good graces? I mean, I know that asking questions like I just said, I ask for special recipes and stuff, but you know, what are your suggestions from behind the bar in terms of getting the drink you want and having a good experience?
Yeah, sometimes you're in luck with a lot of the bartenders who really are concerned about making you happy and making something fun. Sometimes my profession, they're a little challenging, and they're there because they have to be there. I think like y'all are so charming and so sweet and so incredible that, you know, when you go up there and you're just nice, normally they can't help but be nice back to you. And then you tell them what your palate is, it gives them a chance to really make you happy. I just finished working with Cardi B, right? And I just launched a new alcohol with her called Whip Shots, which is alcoholic whipped cream, that's a whole nother podcast we'll talk about, where with making
I have
that sort
heard
of
of
stuff.
this.
with
She
her
was just doing it for
is
Pride Sunday.
hysterical. But that's Yeah, I designed all the drinks for Pride Sunday.
You have that in your fridge.
I have it in my fridge. They sent me one
Amazing.
for Super Bowl.
Take it out of your fridge. It's
'Cause
organic. It's designed so it's organic, and it doesn't need to be refrigerated at all. So if it's cold, you have to shake it to warm it up.
That is, well, it's in
Otherwise,
my fridge.
it doesn't need the refrigerator because there's no dairy.
So,
No. It's, yeah.
Oh, it's dairy free? Because I haven't drank it because I thought that it was loaded with
Wait, what is it?
hydrogenated
Dairy-free.
oils and dairy.
Dairy-
Is it
free.
coconut?
Organic.
Is it coconut?
Coconut.
Wow.
It's coconut.
Okay, so it's
I'm
sitting
not
in my
saying
fridge
that out
because I
loud.
thought that someone
it's
would
just
try it.
between us viewers.
Yeah, that's amazing. I
You
thought that.
literally have that in your fridge.
I know. Yeah,
No,
well, I
just
didn't
let
know
it
that
warm
was
up.
Cardi B thing. That sounds like a pretty Cardi B thing. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, she was just on a
It is.
float giving out free
Definitely
shots.
is.
On Santa Monica.
Oh, okay. That's one way to do it. That's my kind of publicity.
So wait, so you worked with...
Except for if it's whipped cream, do you have to walk around and say, "Open your mouth," and like?
So, wait, Rob, so you worked with Cardi
Or
B
you put
in
it on a
creating
cocktail, or
this
you just yell,
for her?
"Open your mouth." Yes.
Open your mouth.
Open wide.
There's been a big tequila movement in the last 10 years. And there are a lot more people, a lot more brands, a lot more new cocktails, a lot more people are exploring tequila. How have you seen the evolution of tequila happen? Were you using it before, or are you using it more now, or do you still prefer to work with something like gin? How's the industry evolved since you've been in it?
The industry evolved in tequila has been insane. I mean, I started a long time ago bartending in a New York City place called Employees Only back in the 90s. And you had a couple tequilas that were good, but then you all of a sudden
Yeah, we
had
have
this
one
thing
here
that
too.
hit the market called Patron. Oh, yeah, and so it just changed the game. And now you have it where people are loving it. They're all over the world. The demand is absolutely insane. And I have programs, whether it's in the Mediterranean or in Asia, that we fly through tequila. Just absolutely crazy because people aren't afraid of it anymore. It's become very refined, approachable, exciting in a cocktail, and also not bad to shoot.
I mean,
Depends how you're shooting.
Right. A part of the reason why we started this podcast is because whenever we're together, we drink tequila and we talk about health, and we pretty health conscious people, but most people we found were afraid of tequila, and we're not afraid of tequila. And we started this podcast. We felt like people need to be, tequila can be like a wine that you sip slowly and Netflix and chill, or it can be like a party drink. So we really love and respect the many different facets of tequila. And I think the part of the explosion, and now you have all these different celebrity tequilas that are just, I mean, George Clooney, Eva Longoria, Michael Jordan, Jeannie Buss, LeBron James. I mean, the list goes on and on. What do you think about that market in terms of like celebrity tequilas?
Be honest.
So, well, there's got to be a there with celebrity tequila because if like with Cardi, it's something like she's so unique and fun and it's completely different. I think George Clooney did an amazing rollout of a tequila because he made it. He sold exclusivity. He made you feel like this is just, if they have it, I'm going to drink it. So a lot of times when the celebrity, and there's so many great ones out there that get involved in it, if they can really invest their time in it and help with that rollout, it's wonderful. If they're there and just put their name on it, a lot of times that just fails because they have to be active in the rollout of the brand.
Exactly.
Well, we have a very good relationship with Casamigos, and we were big fans of Casamigos. And one of the things that Rachel Zalis, our prior guest, had told us, who is the VP of Global Marketing for Casamigos, she said, you know, these guys genuinely like to drink good tequila with their friends, House of Friends, Casamigos, because they love just the experience of drinking tequila with friends, and they want to share that with people. This isn't, you know, they've got a simple bottle and they've got a clean tequila and a high-end tequila, and that's what they want it to be, and they were passionate about that.
Yeah, it's so, and it reads through it because it feels like just an honest expression all the way through. So for me, the brand has a lot of integrity.
See, that's interesting. I saw on your website, so I saw you put on there the Espresso Martini. Now, me and Mark love an Espresso Martini.
Did you say espresso?
Espresso.
No, I am American.
It would not be an episode of Team Tequila Talks if we're not calling out one of Sherry's weird words.
Espresso is the new name.
Is that like a fast coffee?
It's espresso is exactly what it means. It means it's fast. It's going to get you where you need to go. But the story you have on there, so you make yours with Sotol, which is also, read that and I said, now that's interesting to have the espresso martini made with Sotol. What inspired you to do that?
So Sotol, do you have one of our bottles of Sotol? Can you grab one? So what I love to do, Espresso Martini has a great history, as you've seen on the website, is and it's so funny because it's either Naomi Campbell or oh shoot, I'm forgetting her name, but one of these huge supermodels comes in.
Kate Moss.
London bar. There it is, Kate Moss. Yeah, that's right. And she comes in and she says, "I need something to pick me up and fuck me up." And so the bartender behind there, Brad Self, goes ahead and makes her an espresso martini. And so then we've been celebrating it ever since. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
they were like
a while ago.
It was, and they were rumored to be very young at the time, but they were supermodels at like 14.
Right, so they want
They're best
something
friends.
that, I
That-
mean,
What did it say? Fuck me up and
Pick me up and fuck me up.
oh my gosh.
She is.
Pick
I
me up
love
and fuck
that.
me up. Yup.
it's a good attitude for life.
It's a good
general.
because it's a euphemism for a lot of things. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's true.
Yeah. No, it is. And then so like the reason I always love to make people their own favorite bartender. After the pandemic and everyone was making things at home, it's like, how can you make it, like with our butterfly tea, a 3-step cocktail that's really fun, that changes, it's smash your concept of what a drink is. And so working with this Los Magos Sotol, it's really fun off of the espresso. And I'm just a huge fan, as you see, like these are all hand-designed stuff from Mexico I pick up. I love the Mexican culture. I just adore it, and I have so many bartenders that work with me and for me from there that it's one of those expressions that's just adorable.
Well, now, would you say, I know a lot of people think Sotol is tequila, but I know it's not. It's made from the Sotol plant. But would you say that Sotol, because I feel like a lot of people, that word is coming out of their mouth right now. Would you say this is like the new boom, like the new, but it's kind of old school, but it's kind of new.
You mean trends in cocktails is what you're saying. Because I know that like Aperol spritzes have been around forever, but they really took off in the age of Instagram and what like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Because they looked pretty and they were ombre and orange and like kind of a version of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. And it's as you see different trends and that execution of different trends and the brand integrity and how they're really rolling it out and having some fun with it. This is like a cross, of course, between your mezcal and tequila. So it has a little bit of smokiness to it, but it's not super bold. In the Scotch world, it would feel like a Macallan. It's something that's light and heathery almost, but not clean and crisp like our Avion that we worked with earlier. So it's just a different twist, and it's a different way to celebrate a country that makes just incredible beverages, incredible spirits.
Oh, I love that.
It is very delicious. Sherry and I were talking about, because we made this sort of test drove this, I will call it a beta over the weekend. We did a beta of this cocktail, and clearly our Harry Potter Wizardry is all the magic that makes the cocktail. So we'll make sure to post that step by step and with that key note of adding the lime juice last. But also, we were talking about, this is such a unique cocktail. It was such a hit at our party, and it wasn't even made properly. What is that one thing that you would recommend to people to sort of keep in their back pocket? Meaning, have this in the back of your bar if you want to do something unique or special or interesting. What would you suggest?
So you could always have some fun wildness, like we looked at. If we looked at, let's see, having the whip shot, something silly and fun that creates that shenanigans, that's great. If you're looking at healthy, for me, I just acquired a CBD company. So it's called Inedit CBD, and it's insane. But I love working with cocktails to make people, like you said, healthier, have fun, and sometimes zero proof, but also, as you all pointed out about how great, when you have something that's whole food, that's beautiful, full of cannabinoids, that is just like a plant vitamin that can make you feel better, life's so much better. As far as a trick, a dirty trick, a cool trick for your audience, my teams always have saline behind the bar. A little bit of salt
Saline?
water. And the reason why saline, a little bit of salt water. The reason why is it scrapes your palate. It adds depth to a drink. It is beautiful. It is fun. Nobody will know why it's there, but if you put it into an espresso martini, it continually scrapes that palate. It continually makes you enjoy it as if it's your first sip, and that is something that I teach all of my groups around. So with citrus,
I am blown away right now. I am blown away.
It's so easy and tiny, but it's like, yeah.
Do you put it in the cocktail, or do you take a shot of it, like
Just
kind
a
of like
drop.
ginger between
Just-
sushi
just
bites?
Just a drop on your tongue?
Just a
Is it
drop
a drop?
in the cocktail.
Oh, a drop in the cocktail.
In every
In the
cocktail,
cocktail.
or
If
when
you're
you
making
change
that cocktail
cocktails?
like we made ours, I tend to
a
do it
drop.
almost, I'd say about 50 to 60% of every drink I make. Anytime there's a sweetener, I want to balance it and I want to keep that flavor on your palate. And it is exceptional.
That's so smart. Because sometimes you're
Exceptional.
like, I just want a normal tequila on the rock.
I cannot wait to try
That's
this.
that.
I cannot wait to try this.
Are you
And
kidding me?
a
I'm about it's going to be like a.
tiny drop will do it.
So this is basically the Tabasco of tequila. So I keep Tabasco in my back pocket. So now it's like a saline.
It's
So now
great.
it's like
I love a little
saline.
spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a drop.
Okay. So as opposed to having a
just
trick
your-
cocktail, you would say instead just add a drop of saline into your cocktail so that every time someone has a cocktail, even if it's something simple, they just think that it tastes exceptionally good because they have a clean palate.
Right. Yep. Just it stays on your palate longer. Now we're not talking Visine. We are talking just basically salt and water mixed together, let it blend, and a drop in.
Okay, so homemade, salt and water, not pharmacy grade, put this in your
Yep.
eyes, more
I'm
just
cheap.
salt
I don't
water.
like people to spend money they don't have to.
Hey, well then we're friends forever.
Just
But I also have a
spend the
question
money on
for
the
you,
good
Rob.
stuff, like the
So-
tequila you have today.
So, Rob,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I went over to our friend's place, and they invested into the pre-mixing cocktail machine. What are your thoughts on those machines as an artist?
So for different scales, I like them. So if I'm looking at a property that has the economy of scale of like a sail away. So if I have a ship that's sailing away, I have to produce 2,700 cocktails in 45 minutes. At that moment, I'm using whether it's a machine or I'm kegging a certain cocktail in large batches. So because I have to get cocktails into everyone's hands, I got to do it as quickly as possible. So there are times, or if I'm at the pool, when you're at the pool, you want something that's delicious and fast. But for my cocktail bars, I don't mind them taking a little more time because I want that expression to be exactly what you're looking for. So it's just all different across the things. I use them in certain places. I have a place that's Wildwood, New Jersey, that's moving cocktails so fast because it's beach time and everyone wants them right away. And so there I have two that run almost all the time. And the spirit's great. There's no additives added to them because we do our own formula to that. But it's that way people can have a great time. And it's not a sugar bomb like they used to be. It is a great expression of a cocktail that usually we try to make a skinny cocktail for it.
Ooh, love that.
Amazing.
Wow.
Wow. Well, this was incredible. I think this is going to be my new go-to party trick, Mark. I said it was going to be yours, but I think it actually might be.
It's going to be all of ours.
It's going to be all.
It's just going to be a Friday night. My kid's in bed. And it's like, hey, Instagram, do you want to see something fun?
Everybody go
That
check
is
out
awesome.
Rob Floyd, and we are going to post detailed instructions on how to make this cocktail. We might have to do we're probably gonna have to do a live and do this like step by step, just so
Yeah.
people can refer back to it because it's that good, and we want to make sure that everybody has access to it. It was phenomenal. Rob Floyd, thank you so much for joining us and teaching us something new and pretty and magical.
This was delicious.
Y'all are
Thank you so much.
amazing.
Greatly appreciate
I
it.
love your podcast. You guys are incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cheers. Cheers, Rob.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening, guys. Team Tequila Talks. You know what to do.
Okay, Rob, thank you so much.